This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30, where I come to you every Tuesday and we talk about different things. We talk about grief. We talk about mediumship. We talk about readings. We speak about meditation and going inward and just figuring out who we are and where we're going. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is going to be a topic for everyone with Mother's Day just coming around. Oh, wait a minute. What are we doing here? Something just, okay. All right. Not sure what. I don't need a co-pilot. There we go. New things are happening on my Facebook, so just bear with me. But good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So, how's everybody doing? Had a great week. Sorry I wasn't here last Tuesday. I was in New Jersey at the Spirit Within Church with my mentorship group, learning about how to be a better, loving medium with a lot of integrity and truth. And it was just a fascinating weekend. And I apologize I wasn't able to be with you on Tuesday, but I'm here now. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know where you're watching from. If this is the first time you've been on, put a one so that I can personally welcome you after we're finished with Tuesday Talks. Feel free to share the video, the live stream. Um, but hey, good morning. So upcoming events, we'll do those first. So Monday, yeah, I guess it is Monday, May 13th, in Havre de Grace, Maryland. I am doing a gallery reading at the State Theater, and it is a benefit for the Brandon Tolson Foundation. The Brandon Tolson Foundation is a foundation that was put together because of the loss of someone's son, Brandon Tolson, and the foundation helps others who lose children. So if you've never been to a gallery reading and you're wondering what it would be like, this would be a great opportunity to not only witness a gallery reading, but to also have all the ticket sales monies go to benefit Brandon Tolson. May 20th and 21st, I will be in Bel Air, Maryland. I have a few privates and some seats in the intimate group reading. June 4th, I'm in the Susquehanna House, where that's a new venue for me. June 10th, Kismet Epiphany, that is sold out. I will be announcing a new gallery for here at Hip Gypsy Emporium. And then I also want to talk about the retreat in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And the retreat is October 16th, 17th, and 18th. It's a women's retreat where we'll be doing gallery readings and we'll be doing past life regressions. We'll be talking about um, things within us for the new moon that we need to release with a drum circle and a full moon release. We'll have a book discussion. We'll be talking about energy, but it'll be 3 days and 3 nights to gather together with like-minded women, hang out in Tennessee. There'll be plenty of time for you to venture out and see Tennessee. We're, I think, less than a mile from Dollywood. So if you're interested in joining us, I would love for you to join us. There's still some rooms that are available. You're going to get in touch with Travel with Michelle. And let me see if I can put her information up. Uh, 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 uh. Mm, well, I'll have to do it afterwards. Sorry. This is one of those things where I know just enough to make me dangerous. So those are the events that are coming up. And I would love for you all to join us. So I always like to state my intention before I start, so you know who I am and what I'm about. For those of you who have never met me, um, I try very hard to have as much integrity and love when I'm sending messages. This is not an angel card reading. This is not a reading. This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. But I still like to send my intention out there. It allows my guides, my angels to know that I am open and ready to channel, to listen to what they have to say so that I can relay it to you. So my name is Stacy. I'm an evidential medium. I'm a child of God, spiritual healer, and I have the ability to channel spirit using love and light for my higher good and the higher good of those that God puts in my path. I am not the medium that says, I see death all around you and you're going to be dead in 10 days. My gift, my prayer is that God, spirit, angels brings in the most loving message to help your spirit heal. When you come in front of me, you're either at a crossroads looking for direction or you want to connect with someone on the other side. Today, like I said, this is um, a Tuesday Talks at 10:30. This is a message that I feel like I channeled from my guides to send to you. And I wrote it down, and I got to be honest with you. I will probably read it. Otherwise, I may not be able to get through it. And I apologize and I don't apologize that if I do get a little tearful, because this is going to be talking about Mother's Day and how to get through Mother's Day. If you've lost your mom, you understand. Even if you didn't have the greatest relationship with your mother, there was still that love, that affection that you had. Maybe it was the relationship that you wish that you had. But because of the relationship you had with your mother, it made you a better mother. So I just want you to think about it that way. But so with Mother's Day approaching on Sunday, I thought that we would speak about the loss of a mother. And there's a quote. I should probably hold this up a little bit so that I'm looking at you instead of looking down. So there's a quote by Anne Lamott that says, and it says a lot in very few words. And this was one of those things. I miss my mommy too, Lisa. I understand. But this was a quote that it said so much to me in so few words that I wanted to share it before we talked about this. So it says, you will lose someone you can't live without, and your heart will be badly broken. And the bad news is that it will never completely heal over the loss of your loved one. Um, but this is also the good news. They will forever be in your broken heart, the heart that does not seal up, but you come through. It's like having a broken leg that never really heals. It still hurts when the weather gets cold, but you learn how to dance with a limp. And I thought that that was a perfect way to talk about the pain that we feel, the hurt that we feel when we lose someone near to us. It never really gets better. It's like a broken leg that never completely healed right. But you get through it and you learn how to dance with a limp. So when I talk about this, when I think about this, with Mother's Day, I mean, your mother was your first love, your first connection to the world. While you were in the womb, she was your first blood supply. She created your bones, your skin, your heart, your organs. She provided nourishment. She was your voice of reason. I'm sorry, she was the first voice that you heard, where you were protected from the outside world, as she carried you safely in her body. After you were born, her eyes were the first eyes that you saw. Her arms cradled you, clothed you, and fed you. Her voice was the voice that you recognized first, your first connection to the outside world, where you felt safe. She taught you to be the person that you are. She taught you to be kind and loving and to speak and to walk. And through this life, she taught you how to survive this world. She was the one that you ran to when you fell down and kissed away the pain. The hand that you would reach for that was always there. The voice of understanding when you were confused. The one who cried on your first day of school because you were growing up before her eyes. She had fear of what that day may hold for you that she couldn't protect you from. But she tried not to show it, to instill confidence and independence in you. And she would be joyful on that dime that at the time that you returned from school to hear all about your new adventure. And as you grew, she was the one that helped you navigate friendships, the good ones and the bad ones, giving you advice, being that listening ear when you had a long day or a bad day. Her eyes and her smile were the ones that you looked for at special events and assemblies in school. She was the taxi driver, the party planner, the nurse, and the motivational speaker. And at times she was your sergeant at arms when she felt like you were going in the wrong direction. As you got older, your mom was your first life coach, helping you with decisions and plans, not just homework and the prom. She taught you courage and strength, along with gentleness and integrity. Her arms were there when your heart was broken, and she held your pieces together when you could not. Her hope was for you to be a better person than she was, knowing that she could have done better in so many ways, making mistakes and she messed up. Maybe she spoke to you in a harsh way when she had a bad day. Always wanting to do what was best for you, but always feeling like she could have done more. As you became an adult, it was hard for her to let you go, to be independent. Because what would it mean? Because it would mean that you didn't need her as much. Praying she taught you enough to handle the world, to be happy, to be successful, to navigate the hard things. Her heart hurt when you were sad, through relationships and heartbreak, through disappointments, as well as her heart sang with every hurdle that you crossed, every accomplishment that you achieved. And somewhere along the lines, through the years, the roles began to change. Her well-kept hair started to turn gray, and her once strong hands and shoulders became weak and frail. Those eyes that were bright glimmered just a little less and not so bright. She now would come to you for advice and a strong hand to hold, to help her to walk. You became her taxi driver to take her places. Maybe you cooked her meals to make sure that she ate the right foods, and bathed her and put her into bed, helped her to navigate the relationships that she lost by the friends that were passing. She now looked to your eyes and your arms protect her to feel safe, to listen to the doctors and to give her advice, to make sure she did all the things that she said she should do, to help her once strong body that had succumbed to what life had handed her. Phone calls and conversations were precious to her. Maybe time with her grandkids and events brought her back to memories with you. She saw her grandchildren through eyes of you. Gentle kisses and hugs were different now, and you slowly watched her fade away until the last day with remembering the things that you said and did. All these things may be few, but still, they were precious moments. In her quiet few last days, I'm sure her memories of the things and the flashes and the pictures and the memories and the moments that were important to her, wondering if she was enough. The thoughts of her leaving you broke her heart, but still, she instilled those memories that hopefully will last forever with you. Because as Anne Lamott said, you will lose someone you cannot live without, and your heart will be badly broken. And the bad news is that you never completely get over it. You never completely get over the loss of your beloved. But this is also the good news. They will live in your broken heart because it does not seal up. As you come back through, it's like having a broken leg that never heals perfectly. That still hurts when the weather gets cold, but you'll learn how to dance and how to limp. So when I'm thinking about, sorry, I just felt like I needed to read that because I didn't know if I would get through it without concentrating on what I was reading. So 10 years ago, when Mother's Day was my last Mother's Day with my mother, and we all remember Mother's Days in different ways. And I feel sometimes as though, like, I don't even remember if I was with my mom on Mother's Day. I probably was since she was ill, but I don't remember it because Mother's Day changed when I had children. Because then Mother's Day all of a sudden became about me. And when my children had children, Mother's Day became about them. But I always go back to the thought of thinking, even though I have lost my mother, she was my very first everything. I would not have the skin I have without her, the eyes that I have, my hair, my voice, my body, the blood. Everything started with my mom. And my relationship with my mom was good. Could it have been better? Yes, absolutely. And for those of you who don't have a good relationship with your mother, maybe it made you the person that you are today that you are proud of, to know the things that you shouldn't do. Maybe it made you a stronger mother, friend. But there's a mother figure, I'm sure, that is in your life that meant everything to you, that you reconnect with on Mother's Day, either personally or in spirit. But they've taught you so many things within their lifespan that it, I don't know, it like flows through you. My everyone, not everyone, but my father used to say when he would call the house, he would just say, babe. He wouldn't, and he called the three of us babe because all three of us sounded the same on the phone. So I have my mom's voice. I have my mom's smile. I know I do. When you look at a picture of the three of us with my sister and my mom, like the smile, that's just who we are. Um, so she nurtured me in her body and in her womb. That was the first voice that I heard. That's the first voice that when I was born that I recognized. The first voice that I would come to when I had something happy to share or something sad to share. The first hand that I would reach for. She is, someone just said, my mom was my rock and you miss her like crazy. Absolutely. But guess what? She's still that rock for you in spirit, and she made you the rock for someone else. And when it comes to Mother's Day, it may or may not be important to you. I don't know. But it's a way to honor the person who gave you life. And if you have an adopted mother, this is a mother who chose you, who picked you. And whether she gave you your organs and your hair, and she was your upbringing. And to the mother who put the child up for adoption, what a blessing you were to give life to this child, to someone who couldn't have children. It's a celebration of you. It's a celebration of us, of women, of mothers. I had so many strong role models in my life, from, my mom to coaches to friends, um, Sunday school teachers, strong role models. And I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. But you know what? I always knew where I could go back to, depending on what the situation was. You know, did I honor my mother the way that I was supposed to when I was younger? Mm-mm. I took her for granted. I took advantage of the situation. I never really realized how special she was until after she passed. There were things that I had missed, things that I didn't know about her. And it always bothered me. She would call me when I was older. She would call me, and the first things out of her mouth would be, I know you're busy. This will only take a second. And I would say to her, Mom, I'm never too busy to talk to you. But I realized I gave that impression to her because I was always doing something, either working or with the kids or running here or running there or doing different things. I had a friend of mine say to me the other day on the phone, well, I know you're busy. And I had that flashback to when my mom would call. And I instantly said to my friend, I am never too busy to talk to you. And if I don't answer, I will call you back. I may not be a perfect mother. I may not be the perfect friend, but I will definitely be that person that is there when you need someone. And I feel like that was instilled to me from my mom. You know, there wasn't always someone there for me when I needed them. And maybe that was because I didn't know how to go to them. But it helped me to figure certain things out. And I feel like because I had such a strong role model, I mean, it's so funny. I remember saying, well, it's not funny, but I said to my sister after my mom passed, I always thought my father was the head of the household, that he made the decisions. Well, after mom passed, and I know my father was devastated, but he couldn't make any decisions. I know who was the head of the household and who made the decisions, but I didn't realize it until after my mom passed. She was so good at letting us know that my father was in charge, but he wasn't. She was very good at showing us what a wife should be. My parents were married for almost 50 years before she passed. She adored my father. I'm sure they had times, but as a what do you want to call it? Um, for me to look at someone on being a wife of a good marriage, like my mom was the perfect person to look to. Um, like I said, I never saw them argue. Um, not naive enough to believe that they didn't argue. And sometimes I thought, well, maybe if I would have seen them argue, then I would have known how to argue and resolve problems, but they would go somewhere else and resolve their issues. But I just want you to think on this Mother's Day, and I know Denise is on, um, when, and I don't even remember, Denise, you have to remind me. I don't know if it was the 5th anniversary of my mom's passing, that I was just totally lost. The first was the worst. The 5th was right up there with the first. And Denise said to me, I want you to do something that your mom would do. What was something that your mom always did? And the first thing that came to my mind is my mom's toenails were always painted red. Always, always red. So she was like, go out and get some red toenail polish and polish your toenails. So I went out, polished my, I went out and got the polish, got this red polish, and came back to the shop here. And I was sitting out on the bandstand or the Grand Old Gypsy where we have music. And I was painting my toenails, and a friend of mine just happened to pull in who owns her own salon. And she's like, girl, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to paint my toenails. And, oh, I would have, I'm no, and I explained to her why. So she painted my toenails for me. And as she painted my toenails, she wanted to hear a story about my mom. So, I told her a story about my mom. And these are just special things that I miss. And if you've had a fantastic mom and you miss her, it's the love within you that she first gave to you. I promised myself I wouldn't get tearful, but you know what? 10 years in June that she will be gone. And I miss her and I love her. And I just want you all to think about the good memories that you have on Mother's Day. Oh, not a good look that you have of your mom, and do something that maybe that she would have done. Maybe cook her favorite recipe. Maybe go out and buy her favorite flowers. Some of you have coats or sweaters that were your mom's. Wear them. And if your mom is still here on this earth, give her a call. Show up. If you don't have the best relationship with your mom, you have a choice. You can try and make it right, or maybe you have a mother figure that you need to talk to, because sometimes we do need to cut ties with toxicity. And I totally understand that. It always upsets me when when there's those memes that say, call your mother because mine is no longer here and I miss mine. And I get that because I had a relationship with my mom. When I see it about my father, you know what? I had a father figure that I miss. My father is still here, and most of you know this. So I'm not pushing you or making you feel guilty if you don't have a relationship with your earthly mother. But I just want you to think to yourself, if she's still here and she passes, will you be okay with the relationship that you have right now? Will you be at peace with that? Or maybe on this Mother's Day, you reach out and then you can never say to yourself, I didn't try. Because the loss of a mother figure, is devastating. Your kids always need their moms. And when I think about how I raise my children, and when I see my grandchildren and I see my children in my grandchildren, it gives me such pride. And I think to myself, did I do all the right things? And I know that I didn't. I know I felt short, but they know that I love them. They know that if the phone rings, I will be the first one there. They know that if there's a problem, I'm the first one there. There's this meme that says something like, you don't want me to say, I'm going to go get my mom, and you see the mom come running and like she's taking her rings off and putting Vaseline under her eyes and taking her earrings out, like being ready to fight. My kids know I am that for them. And I knew that my mother was that for me. My mother was more emotional, um, but I knew without a doubt, no matter what I needed, she would always be there for me. And I have a father figure who has passed that was the same way. So on this Mother's Day, maybe look through photos and talk to your mom. Maybe put a flower on her grave or talk to your kids about your mother. Or maybe on Mother's Day, call your kids and just say, I was so blessed in meeting your mother. And I look forward to all the adventures that you are going to have. Oh, the places that you will go, Dr. Seuss. Because when you lose someone that you can't live without and your heart is broken badly, the bad news is that it will never completely get over the loss of your beloved. But that's also the good news, because they live in your broken heart, because your broken heart never seals, it never gets fixed. But you come through it. It's like having a broken leg that never heals properly. It still hurts when the weather gets bad. But you learn how to dance with a limp. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you, celebrating you as mothers, or celebrating your mothers, or celebrating your children's as mothers, your mother figure. But I pray that each and every one of you are living the life you love and loving the life that you live. Because if not, you are the only one that can change it. So this Mother's Day, I ask you to reach out to someone, maybe a friend of yours who's a mother, and do something special with them. Celebrate them. And if you can't, and if it's hard, learn how to dance with a limp. I will talk to you all next Tuesday at 10:30. Stacy Needenfeld, Evidential Medium. Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I'll see you next week. I love each and every one of you so much, and I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Peace out. Bye-bye.